Hey everybody, Toni Craft here. I am just doing a live feed working on some pendants. I have been doing a bunch of holiday markets and I have sold a number of my large pendants and a number of stud earrings. So this morning I was doing a live feed over on Instagram, doing the stud earrings, which step one has been completed on that. Now I need to add the backs. And now I thought I would work on some larger pendants. So right now I'm just sort of working with scraps and trying to make something pretty out of them, I guess. So I am here in Atlanta, Georgia. It is cold here. It's about 34 degrees out, I think. And we have snow on the forecast for this weekend, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, I work with polymer clay, and sometimes I top it with resin, sometimes I top it with just a glaze. But this right here, what I'm working on, is just a metallic polymer clay, and then these are some scraps from sort of a marbled thing that I was doing. So what I'm working on, let's see if I can show you. So some of the pendants that I do kind of look like this. So people seem to really like this sort of sliced thing with some texture in there. So I need to make some more of those, so I'm going to see kind of what I can come up with. So I'm just going to sort of lay some things out here. And I am sorry I won't be able to respond to any of your comments because I do not have a second screen open. I'm just working off my phone here. But feel free to comment and I will respond on YouTube when this goes as a regular video. Some yellow gold here. I love these metallic polymer clays, the ones with real metal flake or mica flake in them. It makes such an amazing pattern within the clay itself. So when this bakes, you actually can see the mica shift. It makes it have this like really gorgeous depth. So when I work on jewelry, I do not usually have a plan. Sometimes I'll have a plan for the shape or the way it's going to hang or something like that. But when it comes to actually making the clay pendants, usually I'm just going by touch feel and what looks good. that one when it's baked is going to be pretty amazing, because you can already see the depth of the metals. Let's see if this is large enough. Now, I don't worry too much about the edges and stuff just yet, because I'm going to make this thicker by putting it onto another piece of backing clay. So there's one. Okay. Oops. I'm going to do some gray-black clay to put some texture in. First, we've got to warm it up and mix it. Let's see. So I like to use natural things to create my textures. So these are some shell pieces that I found on the beach. And the only problem with doing things from nature like this is that I often get little pieces of sand and stuff stuck in my clay. So I should probably be better about washing them and preparing them. But I'm just going to put some texture in this black. I think I'll leave this thin one flat. And then it's just about finding the shape. So this shape is my best-selling pendant. I don't really like that. So I use it quite often. I think people like it because it's large, but it's not a lot of pieces. You know, it's just one large piece. I think a lot of times when you see large pendant necklaces, there's also all these other things attached to it. You know, it's more of a bib necklace. Okay, I'm just going to set that off to the side. These are almost a little Christmassy looking, aren't they? All right, let's see. basically that's how I come up with my designs. I just start flipping things around and, oops, and seeing where I can make things work. It's a bit of an abstract process. Alright, I think I'm done with golds and reds. I have enough pastel. Let's see, what do I need for this show? I could use some maybe darker blues. Alright, let's put that stuff to the side. Oh, I do have this little scrap. And that one, maybe I'll do a little scrap of blues. I don't love that yellow. Let's put a little bit of gold in it. Texture in a couple of the colors. Let's see. Right. Now let's find our shape. Now the funny thing about polymer clay is that it when it cooks, it almost always gets darker. So you have to be careful about the colors you choose sometimes, because sometimes they come out very dark. Like, I will not be surprised if this one comes out almost too dark to use, but hopefully that gold and the other metallics will pop. Take this scrap and add it to a solid color. Something like that. Maybe we'll just do a little golden thread between the two. I got a bubble in there. Just make a couple slices in it. like an acorn. All right, let's see. Something like that. Now this one looks pretty cool. It's almost like the, where's the camera? It's almost like the clay ripped and you can see the colors underneath. That one's gonna look nice when it's baked. All right, let's see. Now this one bakes up pretty dark, so I don't think I want to use it with that dark. Do a blue with a red. Let's see what's inside this ball. That's pretty cool looking. I guess the yellow gold would look good with it. Let's go ahead and warm up this whole ball. And I'm sorry to the people who are commenting. I do not have another screen open, so I will have to respond to your comments once the video is over, but I promise I will. I think I saw someone say, what are you using? This is polymer clay, oftentimes known as Fimo. I like the softer Fimos. There's also other brands. This one's called Primo. There's a store brand from Michael's that I've been trying out, and it seems fine. And it's nice because it's cheaper. So when you work with polymer clay, you have to warm it up and stretch out the polymer. Otherwise, you can end up getting bubbles and cracks, and it gets sort of brittle. So that's what you see me doing when I'm kind of pressing and rolling it, just trying to warm it up. And I don't go too crazy about rolling it out like some people do. I like my clay to be conditioned, but I also sort of enjoy the cracks and splinters and stuff that happens when you don't condition it all the way. It's sort of part of my design. So most people will tell you to condition the crap out of your clay. They tell you to roll it out at least 14 times, folding over on itself. But like I said, I'm a rebel. Put that in there and see what happens. If you want to see what my finished pendants look like, I do have an Etsy shop. My Etsy shop is called Toni Craft Show, Toni with an I. And I also have my own website, which I sell stuff on, and that is tonicraftshow.com. And I do have a store there. And then also you can find me on Instagram and everywhere else at Toni Craft Show. I do have a couple finished ones here that I haven't sold yet, but this was I was trying to do some metal with like a gravelly look. All right, this one's sort of cool hippie style, I guess. So I'm just moving around my cutter to see what would look best. And I think for this one, maybe just a center. Maybe more like that. Now my finished pendants are much thicker than this because what I do is I basically roll these out on another layer of polymer clay so that I can put the eye pins and stuff in between the layers, which is then where I attach the chain and such. Put that one over there. Maybe we'll just make one more. Roll this guy back up. Let's see what's inside of this one. Not too exciting. This one looks like flowers. Let's see, what if we go like this? That's one of the things I love about clay is that when you're using scraps and stuff over and over again, it's almost like a surprise every time. You can kind of roll things out, see what they look like on the inside, flip it over. You know, every time you chop it up and change it, you sort of get like a new surprise, which is cool. And a lot of that can be learned in caning, which I do not do, but I take a lot of inspiration from how they find patterns and create patterns. Let's see. It's not quite big enough. This one almost looks like a butterfly. So I just saw someone asked, do I often use a mold? And I'm thinking you mean this thing. So this is considered a clay cutter or clay slicer in a shape. I do often use different shapes. I have, if you look on my website, you'll see a lot of mountain pendants. So this is the one that I use for that. All right, should we do one more? Got a bunch of gold stuff left. Why don't we slice some of these open and see? one's sort of boring. They're starting to get a little too mixed. This one's interesting. Maybe if I kind of break these up a little bit. Something like that. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but what's really cool about this, the metallic type polymer clays, is that when you roll them out, you're getting the mica in the metallic is shifting one way or another. So you get this like amazing depth that looks even better once it's cooked. Kind of a weird one, but let's see how it looks. Backside. See, isn't that funny? Look, so here is this like intentional pattern, but then on the back, it's not intentional at all. Maybe that's prettier. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe it can be reversible. Sort of like the more abstract version. Okay, so we've got that side, which is more painterly, and then that side, which is, it's interesting. We'll see how the colors turn out after they bake. All right, so I am going to get these guys in the oven. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and